Hello, PHPers. Bruce here, and I wanted to I wanted to show you an example of a website. It happens to be software that I wrote a long time ago, but we're going to be exploring databases and database normalization, right? A lot of the work that we've done up until this point has focused on, a simple database table, connecting it to PHP and displaying it, right? All well and good for an introduction to PHP course. But now we need to start thinking about applications. And your final project is going to involve building an application, out of HTML, CSS, PHP, MySQL, and if you know JavaScript, right? So if we talk about or explore this particular site, this IdeaJam.net site, let's start thinking about some of the things. Actually, I'll point them out as they come about, right? So the first thing we have here is a registration screen, right? Where we ask someone for their email, we check to see if that email is available, and then we send them an email message and they go through a little dance and they get access to our system, okay? Once they do have a username and password, right, they can log in up here in the upper right hand corner, and you'll see that, let's see what happens here. Some more things get exposed on the user interface, okay? This Post My Idea button and this dashboard, because we know that the user is logged in. Maybe think session here, maybe think cookie, or something like that, okay? Now, let's go through the user interface. We have a menu, and I don't know if you noticed before. Actually, let me log out. So take note of the menu the way it appears now. I'm going to click Log Out. And notice now that we're not logged in, we're hiding certain things that the user can do on the menu because they require authentication. So think about that, okay? So let me log back in and go through the user interface here, okay? So this particular system allows people to filter ideas by a category, or in this case, a product. So if I select one of those products, right, the view has changed and different data is shown, right? I think we did some data filtering in CTEC 127, right? So the list of data changes, okay? Now, each of these ideas, this happens to be an idea system, okay, has a whole bunch of what we call categories or idea spaces. It has one or more tags, right? Maybe you're familiar with tags from like blogging or stuff like that. The author, it also has a reputation score, a date, and some comments here, right? Okay, so each of these ideas has the same type of thing. Notice that this idea, and let's click on it. I'm going to click on comments, and it takes me right down to Luis's comment here, okay? And let me scroll up so you can see what's going on here. This is a particular record, right? This is a particular record. Notice that since we're logged in and since I have the right to do stuff here, I have the edit, delete, and this other button, no opinion here. I also have the ability to vote, to click on these various things here. Oh, excuse me here. And I have the ability to delete this comment that Luis made. That's because I'm an administrator and I have the rights to do so. I can edit his comment. Then I can type my own comment here. I can upload a file. Again, something you've learned in CTEC 127. Then I show a graph here. And for those of you who had JavaScript, we learned how to do graphing and such. And then I provide some JavaScript code here, which allows the person to embed this idea in another system, okay? Now, also notice that I can click on Promote here, and it casts my vote on the user interface change. This is JavaScript going on here with some Ajax. You're not going to really have to do this for your final project, but just know that you can do that. I'm going to click on the icon and go back here. So we have ideas. We give people the ability to comment on ideas. We have users who register to post ideas. We allow users to make comments. We allow users to vote on ideas like you saw before. Let me find another page here to see. look for some ideas that I haven't voted on, and I think I have. But actually, what I can do in the system is I can go back and say, you know something, I am going to withdraw my vote. And now, if I go back, click the back button here. Did I click it? Because I know my backup software just kicked in. Okay, so let me just go forward here a bit. There it is. And now I can say demote the idea if I wanted to, and I can go into the idea, and I can, how would you say it, look at the list of existing votes, right? So when I clicked on that, it made a query to the database and said, hey, given this particular idea, which has some type of unique ID, right, which again we learned in CTEC 127, I have one or more votes associated with it, and just know that a person cannot vote twice, okay? So I just want to just start, again, talking through this particular system here. And we have different views here. Popular, most comments. By the way, popular is filtering the idea based upon the total number of votes, okay? The most comments says, hey, give me the ideas with the most comments, etc. Okay? We can also look at all of the recent comments made system-wide by clicking on that particular view. Okay? Again, just another query to the database. Okay? So the Post My Idea button will bring up a form. I did click on it, I believe. Yep. And it allows me to make a selection of, which product, gives me a title, gives me the ability to type in one or more tags. Notice this rich text editor here. We talked a little bit about Tiny MCE, I believe it was, was it Tiny MCE? Was that the editor? No, it wasn't Tiny MCE. I forgot the editor name. But we're going to need to bring that in here. And then file attachments. Again, we've done all this stuff already. Okay. Dashboard happens to be another view, okay, of things that are particular to Bruce and his ideas and suggested ideas. Okay. Then I want to show you one more thing before we wrap it up here. Actually, two more. Statistics is going to show graphical information based upon the data in some of the database tables. Okay. Again, we covered this in JavaScript, and for those people who are taking JavaScript, you'll learn how to do this. And I'll work with you PHPers to include this in your project. Fear not. Okay. And then top innovators, I wanted to show you that. And that's just going to be a list of the people who are contributing most to the system. And when someone posts an idea, when they comment, they vote, we come up with some total score based upon an algorithm of your choice to figure out, a total score here, okay? So let's see. We have a tag cloud on the right here. You can find some jQuery plugins to do that kind of stuff. And then again, we just show different bits of information. We have a footer. Then we actually have a developers page where we document how developers can access the JSON API. And some of the people who are in that class, maybe I think currently Juan and Ted are in there, they'll be able to explore the API and see how data, is made available. Whoops. Let's see. Whoops, that one's not working right now, of course. So let's go to get idea spaces. That should give us a list in JSON of all the different idea spaces that the system makes available for extensibility. Okay? And that's it. Let me log out. Log out here. So the session is dropped. The user interface reacts and redisplays based upon the fact that I'm not logged in anymore. And I want you to think about this because you're going to have an exercise to do regarding this video this week.